Welcome to the Prophecy Club. If you've been following us, you know that it is apparently, I almost started to say my belief. I don't know that I can really say that, but I'll say this. Apparently, there is enough evidence for a person to reasonably and logically conclude that Jeff Sessions is not asleep, and that probably before Jeff Sessions even took office, probably Jeff Sessions and Trump had an agreement that they would begin to drain the swamp. As you recall, I've made several programs talking about how, like, for example, one of them back in January that went viral are 44,000 Marines about to round up 10,000 U.S. leaders. Now, that sealed indictment count now is up to 45,000. And this guy, QAnon, or Q Anonymous, is becoming pretty popular out there. And so let me give you his website, because I've got to where I'm kind of following him pretty closely. I do not, some people think it's Trump. No, I do not think it's Trump. But from what is said, it has to be someone in a real high position. And in my opinion, from what is said, it has to be someone that is in the White House. They have to have access to the White House to say some of the things he's saying. And they are very much working on this whole plan to drain the swamp. When I say drain the swamp, I'm talking about basically doing a roundup of a whole lot of bad Americans. All right, so let's get on to what this guy QAnon is saying recently. Now, he obviously has to word this in such a way to where legally he's saying nothing. Legally, he's not releasing any classified information. But if you follow the news, you can get a pretty good idea of what he's saying. But in our case, since we're prophecy students, and since we already know some of the things that are coming, we already know that, by the way, I have now 4 sources. Maybe I'll get to all 4 of those, but I have 4 different sources that are saying that God has said that the head of America is going to be decapitated. In other words, draining of the swamp, and this is going to be a good thing for America. I believe that we are in the days of Jeremiah 51 verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. And I think this is our opportunity right now to get our nation healed. And that's the reason we must be praying for President Trump every day, that he is not taken out, that he is successful. And I pray that the Lord will give him 8 years, help him drain the swamp, kick out the scorpions and snakes, and heal our land. Okay, so let's go to some of these guys' posts. We call them Q posts. Now, what we as prophecy students are going to try to do today, we're not going to just read the post. We're going to try to figure out what the post is saying, not just in light of the news, as most everyone else can do, but we're going to try to figure out what he's saying in light of Bible prophecy also. It gives us an extra edge. Now, let's back up. This one is dated 6/11/18. Hence, why POTUS is leaving earlier than planned. Now, I think that this is talking about when he was going to one of the meetings over there, the summit or Helsinki or something like that. That's not the important part. The second line is where it starts getting interesting. It says, oh, listen, we are hungry for the arrests. Plural. We are hungry for the arrests. Is he saying that some 45,000 sealed indictments are going to be served? I believe so. Next line. IG, right caret, I guess you call that, Huber. Well, the Inspector General is Huber, and that's the guy, as I read in yesterday's broadcast, that is working with Sessions as part of this roundup, and this is what Sessions has set up, that is supposed to be a wonderful plan, according to many people, that is going to give them access to all 50 states, and that's probably the reason they have some 45,000 sealed indictments out there. So anyway, we're hungry for arrest. IG Huber, you have more than you know. Now let's go to the next day. This is 6/12. When the info is released, RR, parenthesis, no more. We believe that RR is Rod Rosenstein, as in the deputy attorney general, as in the person that took over the Russia investigation, the guy that was taken before the Congress, and in my opinion, he lied, lie after lie after lie. There's, again, the corruption. When the info is released, RR no more, meaning that Rod Rosenstein probably will be no more. Second line, when the info is released, no more Russia investigation. In other words, all this, that's the reason Trump's not worried about this Russia investigation. He knows that he is going to take that down like a building with a wrecking ball, okay? It will factually conclude the corrupt nature by which the entire false narrative was created. Hang on. He's saying that they're going to take the Russia investigation out by the knees. He's going to jerk the feet right out from under the whole thing. Was created all to, one, prevent the election of POTUS. Yes, we understand that. Here, let me just summarize this. What the Democrats were doing was cheating. They were trying to cheat, first, to keep Trump from being elected, and if by the long shot he was elected, they had a plan to take him out almost immediately. They absolutely cannot stand the fact that someone would be in charge and not them, especially someone that would be just dismantling everything that they've spent the last 100 years building, and here in 2 years, Trump has about torn it all down. So they can't stand that. This is messing with their plans. Even Lindsey Williams was told by his elite friend that the elite know that as long as Trump is in, they can do nothing. They have basically put all of their plans on hold. They can't do anything. They can't stop him. They can't move forward with their plans. Now, anyway, let's go back to what it's saying. It will factually conclude the corrupt nature by which the entire false narrative was created, all to, one, prevent the election of POTUS, that's President of the United States, two, delay, shelter, mask, or hide all illegal activities by Hussein, he's speaking there of President Barack Hussein Obama, and others during the past 8 years. So it's saying that they have their hands on the plug, and they're about to pull the plug and drain the swamp. Next line, DOJ, FBI cleanse vital as primary. So they're saying they're about to drain the swamp. They're about to arrest 45,000 people. And he's even going to say that number here in just a second. Next line, Huber coming. These people hate America. He's saying that Huber, in cooperation with Sessions, is actually out there preparing these 45,000 sealed indictments. That's what he's really saying. Now, let's move on to the next one, dated 6/19. Now, he gets real wordy on this one, and normally it's only a line or two per line. There's only 6 or 8 lines, but here he's written several paragraphs. So let's read it. Attorney General Jeff Sessions has also said U.S. Attorney John Huber is investigating claims of FBI and DOJ misconduct. There it is. You want proof that they're about to round up 45,000 top U.S. leaders? Let me read the sentence again. Listen carefully. Attorney General Jeff Sessions has also said U.S. Attorney John Huber is investigating claims of FBI and DOJ misconduct related to these actions, noting that Huber would be, quote, conducting his work from outside the Washington, D.C. area and, quote, in cooperation with Horowitz. There it is. If you want proof that there's 45,000 indictments, 45,000 U.S. leaders about to get rounded up, but you know you're not going to get proof. But if you want as much proof as you're going to get, we've already got 4 people, the 4 prophets of the Lord that are saying this is coming. Maybe I'll get to that, but I've already covered that in other broadcasts. Well, let's go on. This is not the end of the process. United States Attorney General John Huber continues his work in cooperation with the Inspector General to review certain prosecutorial and investigative determinations made by the State Department in 2016 and 2017. Sessions said he has reviewed this report and based on its findings and his own investigations will provide recommendations as to whether any matter not currently under investigation should be opened. Whether any matters currently under investigation require further resources, or whether any matters merit the appointment of special counsel. What's he saying? He's saying, don't worry, boys, we got this. And we are not only investigating the things that are criminal, we're also investigating the things that are maybe not criminal, but they're breaking policy. Let's go on. Now, I read yesterday in the broadcast, read this whole article about what Professor Turley is saying about this. Well, he even quotes him right here. This is cute, right here in his posting. Professor Turley is a very respected liberal law professor and longtime civil libertarian. He has been critical of both parties over the years, and Turley says the use of John Huber gives the Inspector General, the prosecutor, the things that he needs to bring charges and to seek indictments. Let me read that again. Turley. So this is an independent guy. Actually, he's kind of a libertarian, okay? But he says that John Huber has been given the power and the authority to charge, to place indictments, and to arrest these people. So these 45,000 sealed indictments out there, they're not in some refrigerator. Things I'm about to read here, apparently it's getting really close. And I was thinking it would probably be after the election, latter part of this year, first part of next year. But from some things I'm about to read, it might be sooner than that. Let's go on. Huber has been investigating these possible crimes for 5 months. Anyway, back since November of 2017. By giving the Inspector General prosecutor, they can now go after the deep state without looking like a political witch hunt. This is critical, meaning they're working behind the scenes. You're not going to hear this in your news, but they are getting 45,000 indictments ready to round up 45,000 or more people. Sessions informed Congress in his letter that all the matters recommended for investigation by Goodlatte, Gowdy, and Grassley are fully within the scope of Huber's existing mandate. That's right out of the letter or the newspaper article I read yesterday. He also informed the chairman that Inspector General Michael Horowitz, who is working with Huber, has a staff of, listen to this, 470 investigators. In the article I read yesterday, it called them dogged investigators. Now, what this is doing, brothers and sisters, this is moving it beyond just news. This is no longer just a newspaper article. This is from someone, in my opinion, if you've read a lot of these Q posts here, this got to be somebody from the White House. This is information too high. This is not military intelligence. This is not NSA, CIA, DOJ, FBI. This is information from the White House. I don't think it's Trump. I don't know. My guess is maybe General Kelly. But this got to come from the White House. Let's go on. He says this huge grand jury can be impaneled anywhere in any deep red state away from D.C. Now, we read all that yesterday, so let me skip on down here. Let's go to the next day, 6/29/18. It must happen. What's he talking about? He's talking about 45,000 U.S. leaders rounded up. It must happen. Conspiracy no more. What's that saying? He's saying they're getting ready to drain the swamp. They're getting ready to pull the plug. Think of every post made. It would force us to prove everything stated to avoid looking crazy, correct? So what's he saying? He's saying, don't worry, brothers. We got this. We got everything laid out. We got everything proven. And when it's the right time, we're going to pull the plug. And the swamp will drain. What do they fear the most? Hey, let me just ask you. Let's just talk about that a second. What does the devil fear the most? Because he's the guy that's the most subtle beast of the field. He's the guy that he never comes to your front door. He always comes to the back door or a side window. He's always very subtle in what he does. He never says, hey, would you like to smoke this joint today, and then in 2 or 3 years you're going to be mainlining heroin? Would you like to do that? No. It's just very gradual, you see. So what does the devil fear the most? Answer, the rock being removed so that he can be seen. He doesn't like the curtains being pulled back. He doesn't because he's a liar. He's the author of it, okay? That's what he's saying. What do they fear the most? Next line, public awakening. See, I think that's the reason I think we're about to see a giant red wave. I think that we're about to see another sweeping out of the Democrats and a sweeping in of the Republicans in this November election. I think that the American Christians have awakened. And those people that are former Christians and those people that ought to be Christians, I mean, you look at these rallies, in my 65 years on this planet, I've never seen crowds show up at any kind of a political rally like I've seen continue to show up for the Trump rallies. Even myself, I have to watch every one of his talks. And I mean, I cling to every word, and I think I'm talking to people that pretty much feel the same way too. I'm talking about Trump. Trump is awakening America. Awakening, and it's not just Republicans, but he is awakening Republicans. He's giving us hope. He's giving us hope to believe that we can kick out the evil. We had been depressed. We had sat down on the job, and we weren't working anymore. Well, let's go back to what he's saying. What do they fear the most? Answer, public awakening. Next line, if they ask, they self-destruct. In other words, if they ask about Huber, if they ask if there's 45,000 sealed indictments out there, if they ask if they're about to be arrested, if they ask if they are under investigation, they self-destruct, you see. See, because they always have to work behind the curtains. They do their business under the table, in the dark. They self-destruct. Next line, they know this is real, meaning that people in top places know there's 45,000 sealed indictments, and they know that a lot of people are about to be rounded up, and they are afraid. And they are afraid that their name is on the list. And the truth is, if they're in a position of power and they're on the left, they're on the Democratic side, they probably are about to get rounded up. They know this is real. Next line. See attacks. The building is near complete. Growing exponentially. You are the frame. You are the support. People will be lost. People will be terrified. People will reject. People will need to be guided. Do not be afraid. You know what he's saying? Saying the same thing this voice has been saying for a long time. Remember August 8th, 2015, I heard the audible voice of God say, these are the times of miracles. And that when the trouble, and this is the trouble, when the trouble shows up, God is going to show up. Now, I was thinking, the God didn't say double portion miracles, but he just downloaded it in my heart that these were miracles that no one going back to Adam had ever seen. It was Messiah that called and said, no. God told me these aren't going to be double portion miracles. These are going to be sevenfold miracles, 7 times. And it's not going to be some one-man show anymore. They're going to break out all across the world to anybody that is a believer. Well, that's what Dimitri was told. He said that in the right time, he would begin to speak to people then like he did to Dimitri way back when Dimitri was here. In other words, there's going to be miracles. That's what we're talking about. And probably, I don't know for sure, but probably what God is saying is these 45,000 U.S. leaders are about to be rounded up. They will succeed in rounding up. And I think that apparently America comes pretty close to healing here. See, that's what it's about. Jeremiah 51 verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. That's what this is all about. Let's go on. Do not be afraid. We will succeed. Timing is everything. Think Huber. Think DOJ, FBI, reorganization. Think sex, child arrests, and news. You know what he just said? He said, we are going to be successful rounding up these 45,000 corrupt leaders all across America. Don't be afraid. We will succeed. And at the right time, we will pull the plug. Think Huber is going to do it. That's the guy that works with Sessions behind the scenes to get all these sealed indictments going. And he's saying that this is going to be a reorganization of the Department of Justice and the FBI. Basically, it's going to dehead the snake part of America, and it's going to get rid of sex and child molesters, pedophiles, and I love this last word. Matter of fact, let me read this whole line again. Think sex, child arrest, and news. I think it's saying that CNN, NBC, ABC, those top people are about to be arrested. Did you read Trump's tweet? I think it was yesterday, where he is openly calling for the resignation of the person that heads up NBC and CNN. I believe that's correct. I mean, you check it. If it's not correct, that's real close to being correct. Why? I think that people in really high places are scared. They know about the indictments. They don't know their names on it, but they know they've done some dastardly deeds worthy of being arrested, and they're afraid. I think they're having a hard time sleeping at night. And right now, more than any time in my lifetime, we are seeing a battle between light and darkness, good and evil. And right now, for the most part, at least the Republicans are the ones that tend to be more pulling for the good. Not all of them, of course. And the left, the Democrats, seem to be the ones pulling for the left or for evil. Now, you can't say every Democrat's a bad guy. You can't say every Republican is a good guy. But I'm saying in general. All right, now let's go on to the next tweet. Dated 7/01. We're getting a little closer to current here. Ask yourself, who is filing the indictments? It would take a very large team to work this quickly. What's he saying? He's saying that Trump Sessions is one really behind it, just like I believe that Obama was really behind all of this Russia stuff. Okay? He had to coordinate it. You draw it out on a board and you start drawing lines between the DOJ and the people there and the FBI and the people there, and there's got to be someone in the middle. Got to be a head, a coordinator of it all. Answer, Obama. Ask yourself who is filing the indictments. It would take a very large team to work this quickly. Who has that kind of manpower? Next number, look at this, 470. He's saying these 470 dogged investigators are doing their job and are about to round up a lot of people. Now let's go to the next one, same date. Ask yourself, does Huber have the ability to file across all 50 states? Answer, according to what I just read in the article yesterday, yes, he does. Is any of this normal? No. Next line, think sealed indictments. Think resignations of CEOs. Think resignations of senators. Think resignations of congressmen. Think termination of senior FBI, senior DOJ. You know what? He's just saying that they're about to decapitate the evil head that is causing America to fall. I only got one more post, then we're going to call it a day here. This is dated 7/24. We're still at Q, and you find this at qanon.app. That's Q, A Adam, N Nora, O Ocean, Nora.app. Queen Adam Nora Ocean Nora dot Adam Paul Paul. QAnon.app. That's where you can find this. Now, let's go on back to, we've only got a few more minutes here. 7/24. From sea to shining sea. Who does Huber report to directly? I believe that would be Sessions. And who does Sessions report to? And that would be Trump. Define evidence. Who has the server? Well, one of the other posts said, we have the server, meaning Trump has the server that has the 33,000 emails on it. And that's what the Chinese just said, that they had all the emails, and it wasn't the Chinese that got them. It's Trump and his team that got them. Let's go on, though. Why does POTUS, that's President of the United States, continually refer to the server? POTUS does not speculate. See, this has to be someone from the White House. It has to be. I don't think it's Trump. Could be. But I think it's someone very close to him. Future proves past. POTUS does not speculate, so what's it saying? It's saying we have the server. Next line, who has it all? Topics stated in past. Future, big meaning. Repeats, important. Think Twitter. In other words, you want to know what's going on? Check my Twitter feed, okay? Those awake see. Those asleep are blind. Fake news, parenthesis, prop arm of D and DS. I think that's mean the propaganda arm of the Democrats. And he says failing. Panic. Silence is golden. I want to read this last tweet here, just through it real quick. And I'm going to try not to make too many comments, but I don't want to read it too quick. You can't grab it, because if you read through him like this, you can get the gist what he's saying. Let's start at the top of this last tweet. It's not a tweet. I mean, it's a post by Q. From sea to shining sea. Who does Huber report to directly? Define evidence. Who has the server? Why does POTUS continually refer to the server? POTUS does not speculate. Future proves past. Who has it all? Topics stated in past. Future big meaning. Repeats important. Think Twitter. Those awake see. Those asleep are blind. Fake news. Prop arm of D and DS failing. Panic. Silence is golden. Okay, so we're about out of time. Let me just say that summertime is over, but I guess everybody's going to back to school and buying school clothes. We have helped Bree. She needs $26,850, or she's in real trouble. Now, I'd really like to be able to hand her a whole check for at least $26,850. At last check, which was yesterday, we got $17,334. So we need some more for Bree. But don't forget Prophecy Club, because for the last week, our mailbox has gone flat. Yes, I understand you're helping Bree, and God bless you. As a matter of fact, I want to pray a blessing for you for supporting Bree, and she's going to pray a blessing too. But I also want to remind you that Prophecy Club still needs your help too. Lord, you have seen the heart of all of these people that know those pygmies in Congo really need their help. They know they live in the most blessed nation. They know that even if they are poor in America, they're still more blessed than probably 90% of the people living in the rest of the world. But they have given not only to this ministry, but now also to the pygmies. Lord, I ask you to observe their giving, observe their heart, that they want to build your kingdom more than they want to take care of their own skin. I ask you to bless them. Hear their prayers. Provide and protect before they even know they need provision or protection. Be that voice behind them and speak to them and say, this is the way, walk ye in it. Be that lamp under their feet and light under their path. And heal their land. Heal their finances and their family. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your prayers. And thank you for your blessings of support. God bless. Now from the Prophecy Club, some exciting opportunities for you. Brian Melvin did an excellent job making this DVD called Hell in a Box and From Hell to Heaven. Excellent talk. I've heard about 30 some odd talks of people that have passed on, some to heaven, some to hell. This is one of the best ones. This held my attention all the way through. Now look, just as archaeology can be really powerful to win people to Christ, and you need that. You need this DVD in your hands to show people this will convince people. I'm saying this will convince the skeptic to get saved very powerfully. You want this DVD and this book, Hell in a Box and Hell to Heaven, and the book, A Land Unknown, Hell's Dominion. DVD gift of 30, book gift of 20, both for a gift of 45, prophecyclub.com or 785-266-1112. The Hell gift offer. Keep them out of it with the Hell gift offer. prophecyclub.com, 785-266-1112.